And you have computer professionals that do this for profit. And the monetary incentive is intrinsic in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's the monetary incentive that drives not only the computer geeks, but especially the computer professionals.
I gotta jump in here and add what the presenter is saying. I kinda like his bookkeeping analogy, but it's important to point out and appreciate a few more features of the blockchain. Think of the blockchain as a worldwide web service. It's a web service that provides a major monetary incentive to ensure the accuracy and completeness of the transactions stored in the blockchain, or electronic ledger as the presenter calls it. So let's add to his example of the 10 bookkeepers. Let's say that in addition to the bookkeepers recording every sale made in their ledger sheets, the store owner also requires that they total the sales recorded on their ledger sheets after an entry is made on the last line of the ledger sheet. So if a bank ledger sheet has 60 blank lines, after recording an entry in the 60th line, the bookkeeper computes the total sales on that ledger sheet and writes the total at the bottom of the sheet. The first bookkeeper that completes this task with the correct total is awarded an extra $1 in his or her paycheck. How does the store owner know when a total is correct? He knows he has a correct total when he gets a consensus of the same total from the other 9 bookkeepers. The faster and more accurate bookkeepers are incentivized with fatter paychecks, because they're awarded an extra $1 each time they are the first to derive a total that a consensus of the other 9 bookkeepers will eventually match. Now let's continue with the example. Once a final total is derived and verified by consensus, the store owner personally writes the final total from the bottom of the completed ledger sheet to the top of a new bank ledger sheet for all 10 bookkeepers, ensuring that every bookkeeper starts with a new blank ledger sheet with the same total, and the same process starts all over again as a new ledger sheet is completed. The winning total is added to a new blank ledger sheet, and so on. The store owner also tears out the ledger sheet from the winning bookkeeper's ledger and puts that ledger sheet in a master ledger book. Are you getting the picture here? That winning ledger sheet is like Satoshi Nakamoto's block, and the store owner's master ledger is like Nakamoto's blockchain. Over time, the store owner has a running total of the store's sales recorded on ledger sheets where the totals at the top of the ledger sheets equal the totals from the bottom of previous ledger sheets. In effect, the running totals at the top and bottom of the ledger sheets define a link, conceptually chaining the ledger sheets in a contiguous sequence. It's easy to conceptualize these written entries in the ledger sheets as electronic entries in a block of transactions. And what would you expect a world of nerdy computer geeks to call countless electronic transactions stored in sequence? A blockchain, of course. Go figure. A block is simply a group of financial transactions. A blockchain is simply a group of contiguous blocks of financial transactions. Let's get back to the presenter.
But in the example where we got up to as many as 10 bookkeepers, where we could kind of understand that at some point we can rely on these numbers being accurate based on a consensus of that 10.